Welcome back to Small Caps, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am speaking with Peter Ledwidge. He's the Managing Director of Mako Gold. The ASX code is MKG. Now, Mako Gold, West African explorer. And by the way, Peter has done this before with Orbis. He's going to do it again, I reckon. He's in with the big guns, Elephant Country, maiden resource coming out. Peter Ledwidge, thanks for giving us an update on Small Caps today. Good to see you.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Let's start with just about, you've had some significant gold results from recent assays. I want to just talk about the numbers there and then go into the bigger picture.
Yeah, so more good results. So what recently came out was on the Gogbala prospect, which right now we're focusing on two prospects on the Napié permit. That's got 4 prospects that we're currently drilling. And the Gogbala prospect just came out some more good numbers. I'm not going to start listing them off, but basically it's all from extensional drilling, which means that as we're moving towards our maiden resource, that's adding ounces. So we're drilling underneath the holes that had good results, and then we're drilling along strike. So every time we announce a result, even if they're not huge numbers at times, huge widths or whatever we announce is adding ounces. So we're moving things in the right direction that way.
I think it's important for people to know, because you're in the Côte d'Ivoire in West Africa, but Peter, you know this area really well, and I'd love you to talk to our audience about what it's like to work out there and the jurisdiction itself, because, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, he's done it before. He did it with Orbis, big discovery over there. So what is it about this area that you like so much?
Well, all of West Africa really is elephant country. If you look at the Burundian, and I'm not going to get too technical, but that whole greenstone area goes from Senegal all the way to Niger, and it's about the same size width as WA. And in that area, you get 400 million ounces of gold that have been discovered, 40 deposits over 1 million ounces, and 30 of them about over 3 million ounces. So yeah, it's elephant country. Most of it is open pittable. Now, we think that Côte d'Ivoire is the best place there because it's only really had serious exploration within the last 10 years or so. So, you know, I've been working that part of the world. I first started about 25 years ago, so I know that area pretty well. And when I see Côte d'Ivoire, it's like going into Kalgoorlie about 100 years ago.
Oh, wow, that's a good analogy, right? Because there's still a lot that's not explored. Is that what you're saying? But it's also really strongly endowed for gold.
Exactly. For example, our second project that we're currently doing an auger drill program on, which we're going to follow up very shortly with air core drill program. It's had no exploration before. Now, where else can you go there? In a proven gold belt, it's about 15, one permit's 15. Yeah, there's 30 kilometers away from Tongon, Barrick's 5 million ounce Tongon mine, and it's never had any exploration on it. So we're pretty excited, to be working on that.
What's your time frame on that, Peter? When are you starting the work on that, or have you already started?
We started last year. We did the airborne geophysics on it, and we did the first pass soil sampling. So right now we've got 2 auger rigs turning on there, following up on our good soil sampling results. And then as soon as that's done, then we're going to start with the air core drilling program. So we hope to be air core drilling sometime in April as a target date. So lots of news coming out of there. And when you look at some of the targets that we have, they're as large as the footprint of Tongon's 5 million ounce deposit. You can go on our presentation, latest presentation, you can see the comparison on from Google Earth. So we don't think we're out to lunch when we're targeting a big deposits there.
Is it along the same structure as Tongon, the Barrick's resource?
It's parallel to Tongon's, and the reason we selected that ground, that was an application that we launched and got granted, is because we were on the greenstone granite contact with the fault. And if you go north in that fault, just a little ways up, you go to the Burkina border, and that's where Endeavour's get their 2.7 million ounce Wagnon deposit. So the area is very well endowed with gold. Like, we know that that's a fertile gold belt, and so that's why we're so excited about starting to drill that in the next couple of months.
Okay, so I want to find out how many drill rigs you've got, where they are. But before I do that, how much cash have you got? What's your burn rate like? Because I think it's important for people to know where you're at and what the burn rate's like.
Absolutely. When I invest in other companies, that's what I look at as well, see if they're going to run out of money or not. And so at the end of December, we had 9.6 million in the bank. Okay. And we're currently burning through about 2 million a quarter. And the reason, it's not because we have a high G&A, it's because as soon as we get money, we put it into the ground. So we have a lot of drills turning. We've got an RC drill turning at Gogbala. We had a diamond drill turning on Tchaga. Now we're going to get a diamond drill going on Gogbala as well. That should get here hopefully this weekend. We've just had an air core drill on our two other prospects on Napié. And then we're planning air core drilling on Korhogo, the one that's close to Barrick's Tongon mine. So we don't sit in our hands. We actually get the work done.
Yeah, and I think that's great. But what I'd love for you to do now is just, can you pull it all together? Peter Ledwidge, you've been there before. You've made discoveries. You know how well endowed this area is. But you've got rigs here and there, and this is a big area. So kind of pull it all together and tell me, what's the strategy for this first half of 22, apart from finding a big couple of discoveries?
Yeah, so basically get that maiden resource out on the Napié permit that includes the Tchaga and Gogbala prospects, and then to follow up on that, get an update on that before the end of the year, and make a new discovery on the other prospects on Napié, the ones that we're core drilling on right now. So that will be the next resource target on Napié, and get a re-rating within the next few months based on our main resource, possible discovery on the other prospects on Napié, and then possible discovery on the Korhogo project, the one close to Barrick's Tongon mine. So we do have a strategy. Short term is that. Longer term is within a couple of years to have 2-3 million ounces or more on the Napié permit, which these things grow. So it'll be because we have a 30-kilometer fault on the permit, and that's where we're getting our good drill results. I can imagine in a few years, having 4, 5, 6 deposits along that fault. And then strategically, you kind of figure out, okay, where are we going to put our mill, so that it's within trekking distance to all those deposits. So even though most of my career has been spent in exploration, 3 years of that was spent as a mine geologist. So I do understand the end game and what we're striving to get here, which is an operating mine.
Do you think that being in Côte d'Ivoire, we're running out of time, so I just want to ask this quickly. Do you think that the share price is a bit discounted because of the West? Like if this was in Kalgoorlie, you'd be off and running. Do you think that people don't fully understand Côte d'Ivoire as it's a safe jurisdiction?
I think you're right. So yes, there is an African discount, and any broker, fund, investor will tell you that. Having said that, I've worked in that part of the world, for quite a while. I've worked in Mali, Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, and I've been exposed to, had offers, for other projects in other countries. And I'm very selective in where we go, because I'm not playing with my money here. I'm playing with investors' money. So as far as West Africa goes, Côte d'Ivoire is very safe. And the reason I say that, I do realize there's all these coups happening in neighboring countries. And also, in neighboring countries, you had this jihadist insurgent. So it's not likely to happen in Côte d'Ivoire for two reasons. Is one, it's one of the wealthiest countries in the area, definitely the wealthiest francophone country in the area. So they have a very good security force, army, police force, etc. And secondly, the geography doesn't lend itself to that. So in northern Burkina, places like Niger, Mali, it's kind of like being in the outback where you can drive anywhere in a Land Cruiser or a motorbike. In northern Côte d'Ivoire, you can't do that. There's a lot of vegetation, and you can't just like do a hit and run and hope to escape. So it's a little bit too difficult between that and the well-armed forces there. It's not likely, to happen. In addition to that, the people are very happy with the president. Côte d'Ivoire last year had the highest growing GDP of any country in Africa. So people are happy. Why would they want changes? They're not going to have a coup.
No, they're not. Now we're running out of time, Peter, and I wanted to make sure that people understood it's a great area. There is a bit of a discount to the Mako Gold share price, but Peter, as I said before, you've done it before. You're pretty excited about what you're finding and uncovering there. Maiden resource coming up. 3 reasons why people should be sitting up right now and looking at Mako Gold.
Well, we're undervalued, and we've got some catalysts coming up that, no managing director will say we're overvalued.
Exactly, I was about to say that.
You got to sift through that. But, what I've been talking about, all the catalysts, maiden resource, potential discoveries, and so on, that's one. The second one is we've done it before. When we were with Orbis, we made three discoveries and drove the company from a very low market cap to a nice takeover in difficult times. And so we've done it before. And third is the jurisdiction. Our market cap is low. I guess that's 4.
Yeah, but you got to 4, but I'll let you go with that one.
Yeah, low market cap, and I could see us, well, that's what I'm striving for within a year or a little bit, in that time frame to have double, triple the market cap, and we've got, serious investors like Dundee Goodman, Delphi, funds out of Germany and Canada. Those guys don't invest in companies unless they see a 5 or 10 bagger within a couple of years. So seeing as we've got 36% institutional ownership, I think that speaks for itself.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, 36% institutional ownership. So those funds are very keen on what Peter is doing out there in West Africa. Maiden resource coming up. Lots of news flow coming up as well. So my suggestion, make sure you put them on your watch list. The ASX code is, once again, MKG. Write it down. And Peter Ledwidge, great to speak to you, and all the best for the project. Well funded and lots of drilling underway for discoveries.
Thanks, Gary. Always my pleasure.